about helping women relentlessly pursue their God-given dreams by using their God-crafted gifts. So today, I want to talk to you about time. I know you've got things to do. Listen, we are all busy all the time. If you woke up this morning, I promise you, you already have a list of things to finish, and I bet it is a mile long. Maybe it's even got some things on it that are left over from yesterday. For goodness sake, it's a new month tomorrow, and maybe your list has things on it from last month still. Okay, mine totally does. But by the end of this video, what I want to do is to give you ladies a key outlook. I want to shift your thinking a little bit that will help you manage your time in a way that you're going to look at that checklist of things and watch it start to shrink. That's our goal. So are you ready? Great. Let's jump in. So, I want to tell you a story. Shockingly, I know, in high school, I was a theater kid. Like, always in the theater. I ate lunch in the theater with my friends. I knew all the secret ways to get into the theater if it was locked. We could get up in the catwalk where we were not supposed to do. I probably stole a few kisses behind the set. Sorry, Mom. I was like a listening to show tunes in my car every day, eating, sleeping, breathing theater girl all through high school. But especially my senior year. I had moved to a new school. It was time for the musical, and we did the pajama game. It was a fun fall musical. Okay, I didn't have the lead. I did have a supporting role. It was a more memorable. I was always a character actress, and this girl's name was Poopsie. I know, Poopsie. Little known fact about me, my senior year, that was basically my nickname to everyone in the school. Poopsie. But anyway, back to the show. So there was this sequence of scenes that I was in, and they required a quick costume change. Well, okay, actually they didn't, but the diva in me decided they did. So I had this extra dress, and I'm like, why not use it? Mom had taken me to this great vintage thrift store. It was adorable. I wanted to do it. So the plan for me was finish this big full cast number, run off stage, do a quick change during this little like love scene that had a song, should have been enough time, and appear just in time to do this slow, like a tango sort of dance with my partner, who was a friend of mine, Tim. So, big dance scene is going, I am like rocking it, and as I'm doing my last steps, I'm already figuring it out, right? Lights go down, I am off. I bolt to the dressing room, I'm gonna do this costume change, it's gonna be a miracle. But listen, it wasn't just any costume change. Oh, no. It was a full-on tights and all change. Tan tights off, black tights on. Okay. But I was so sweaty. Y'all, okay, have you ever tried to put pantyhose onto sweaty legs? I'm telling you right now, this was a terrible idea. So there I was, 18 years old, sweaty legs, tan tights in a crumple on the floor, and black tights twisted all around my upper thigh of one leg and stuck around the knee of the other. No dress on. And I'm listening, and I can hear the scene happening. That's like my buffer time, right? And it is getting closer and closer to the end. And these tights are not going anywhere. Now would be a good time to insert the fact that my mom had already told me that the tan tights would have looked fine with the second dress. There was no reason to change tights. Just wear tan, she said. It'll be fine, she said. And of course the next scene was dark, so things like tights and whatever color they were, they didn't even matter. And ladies, in my 18-year-old wisdom, I did not listen. Because everyone knows that seniors in high school know everything, right? Just ask one, they'll tell you. Now, on stage, I'm listening, this love song is starting at, and I know I now have about 2 minutes before I have to be dressed and standing in the wings where I was supposed to be ready to enter and meet my friend Tim, who was already going to be waiting on stage for me. Mind you, half up tights, no dress, all kinds of chaos. So Tim is already standing on stage. He's not going to have any way of knowing if I'm not going to make it. So poor Tim, I'm picturing this guy, left standing there. The music starts, no dance partner, and Tim, just so you know, is 6'5". So it's not like he can hide on stage anywhere. He's like this giant tall guy. He's standing there with no partner. This is all I'm picturing as I'm standing there with my tights halfway around my knees. Needless to say, I missed my cue. So I finally ended up just going out there mid-song, no tights on, but I did at least have a dress and I got my shoes back on. There you go. So halfway through the dance, I walked in, jumped in, rescued Tim from looking lost, and all was well. And that character, Miss Poopsie, she was a complete airhead. We just played it off that way. It was all fun and games. Meanwhile, as we're dancing, Tim's like, "Where you been?" And I'm like, "Oh, I had a little costume issue." So it was fine, but it was crazy. So you might wonder, what on earth is Jennifer talking about? She's sitting here telling me about sweaty legs and tights and stories from high school. I thought we were talking about time. Well, if we are going to talk about time management, we have to break down that situation. Y'all, the only reason I missed my cue was because I got in my own way. My own personal vanity of wanting everything to be just perfect caused me to use my time poorly. And I should have minded my mama, y'all, and just worn the dang tan tights the whole show. So, this situation teaches us two things. One, quit waiting for everything to be perfect in your own mind, or you might miss your cue. And two, listen to those wise people that are around you. So let's break down that first point. Sometimes, in order to figure out how something needs to get done in the time we have just have to get out of our own way. So let's reframe the way we look at time management. Really, we aren't managing time because there's a certain amount of time. You can't change it, you can't alter it, you can't lengthen it or shorten it. You're not managing time, you're managing yourself. We're always wondering, I need better time management. I wish I were better at managing my time. But really, what we need to be talking about is self-management. If I had managed my own self better backstage, set aside my vanity or my desire to have everything just so, I wouldn't have missed my cue. So think about this. If your cue to start on the dream or start on the thing that you've been crafted to do is coming up, you've got to get better management of yourself so that you don't miss it. Don't miss your cue because you are in your own way. So self-management is really self-discipline, right? Or self-control. And we know that we have that because it's a gift that's given to us as a fruit of the Spirit, right? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. In Proverbs 25:28, God tells us that a man or woman without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. If a city is left without walls, it is unprotected, vulnerable, open to attack. So with regard to self-management, if I'm open to attack, what does that mean? It means I'm prone to get distracted. It means maybe I have a need to have everything perfect, all the details squared away before I can begin a project. And I let that cause me to feel like I can't start. I'm waiting for the right place, the right time, the right finances, the right situation. It means I'm easily swayed into doing things for other people instead of my own priorities. It means I choose something else, maybe something lower on my priority list, but it seems easier or more fun or more exciting or just better. It means I just might, because I'm insisting on doing things my way instead of God's way, that my tights are tangled up around my knees and I miss my cue. And y'all, by cue, I mean that divine appointment that God has set for you to move forward in the dreams and goals that He gave you, that He created in you, and that He crafted you to do. It's the things that He wants you to accomplish here on earth according to His purposes. God's word also says in Ephesians 5:15 through 17, "Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is." So this week, instead of focusing on the concept of time management, let's focus on self-management. Remember, I said we had 2 lessons to learn. 1, time management, but 2, that second point is pretty self-explanatory. Listen to your mama. Sometimes, though, it's really hard for us to see when we aren't using our time well, or when we squander what we've been given, or when we're caught up in the wrong things that consume our thoughts and our time. But God has surrounded you with people who have wisdom that will give you that information, and it comes from a place of love. They'll tell you to just wear the tan tights and move on. They'll tell you to just make the phone call and go. They'll tell you to quit worrying about the details and go. They'll be the ones that can push you further with their own wisdom. And if you don't have that person in your life, but I promise you do, you definitely have God. Right here is His wisdom. All you have to do is ask, and He's there. So this week, I want to give you 2 questions to think about. You can write them in a journal, make notes in your phone, whatever works for you. But promise me this, you will think about them. Question 1. What is one area that you struggle with self-management? Maybe it is using your time well. Maybe it's not organizing things well that slows you down. Maybe it's some form of self-sabotage. But take a minute and get real with yourself. No one else will see these answers. Reflect on what it is that keeps you from getting that list of items checked off. Question 2. What can you do this week to reframe your thinking, moving from time management to self-management? Maybe it is actually writing down the list and not just trying to keep up with it in your mind. Or maybe it's purchasing a calendar or finding an app on your phone that helps you focus. Or maybe it's scheduling blocks of your day with more intention. Whatever it is, write it down now so you can commit to it this week. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so honored that you spent some time in your day listening to me and thinking on these heart topics and investing in yourself as well. As you go through your week, keep thinking on the ways that you were created to dream and crafted to succeed. And what are you going to do this week to get out of your own way and make those things happen? Have a great day, y'all. It means I just might, because I'm missing the words that I'm supposed to say. It means maybe I have a need to have everything perfect or just so before I can begin that project. And I let that cause me, what? And I let that, as you go through your week, as you go through your week. Where's my script? Crap. Why isn't it rolling? Why does this look so weird? Okay. No one else will see these answers. So step back a little. Please hold. This is not going well. Listen to those wise people that are circling you.